Today we're going to be reviewing an espresso machine, a drip coffee maker, and a cold brew machine, and it's all one machine. It's this one. Oh my God, I didn't see that coming. This is the new Ninja Luxe. This is their entry machine into the home espresso market, and this thing is a honkin' beast. This thing is like the Swiss Army knife of espresso machine. It's got this giant portafilter that just looks kind of bizarre. It's got all these different pieces that just slot in every part of the machine. We've even got a little door that you can't see over here. I'll just, look at that. Beep, boop, beep, boop. And you got buttons for days on this machine, but we'll get to all of that very shortly. The machine is only $4.99 US. I find it hard to believe that at that price, this machine can do all of those things really well, but let's test out the 3 main brewing functions and we'll see how it goes. Everybody likes a golden brown logo, golden brown logo. Let's start with a quick overview of the machine, everything you get and how it works. So the first thing that everyone notices is this giant portafilter, but there's a method to the madness. The reason it's so big is because not only does it have the normal double shot basket for espresso, it also has this big old giant basket so that you can do drip coffee through the portafilter and cold brews. And it even has a Quadshot feature, which, come on people, if you're drinking the Quadshot, something's wrong. Please, find some help. I'm here for you. But it does have the Quadshot. I'm not excited to try it, but I will. Then on the side, these little parts slip in here. It has this dosing funnel, so you don't get any mess when you're making your coffee. My cameraman's gonna sneeze. Shut. And for ease of use, it's got this really long tamp that, look at that, just fits in the dosing funnel, and then it has like a little pressurized pop down. So ideally, you get the same pressure every time. The portafilter fits right in here for grinding, just slots in. It also has a scale in there, so it's weighing out the same dose every single time for different coffees that you're looking at. And then it even has this giant headspace here, so you can fit in massive cups. So if you're an iced latte girly, perfect for you. Or there's a little tray, so you can have a few different adjustable heights there. You can have it here, and you can have it here. Then it's got this smaller one here so you can put in little cups so it doesn't splash everywhere when you're making espresso. Then one of the interesting things that I'm excited to try out, because I don't know if it'll work, is it has this automatic steaming jug. So it's got a little frother in the bottom. So you just place it in here. There's a thermometer on the bottom so it knows when to stop steaming. So you just pop it in here. And then what it does is it's going to aerate the milk with the frother. I'm excited to see if it works. Who knows? You can also do cold drinks with that as well. So if you want some cold foam for your iced latte, bang, you got that as well. Then it also comes with all the cleaning stuff that you'd expect. You get little cleaning tablets, some descaler, and you get a little brush. Once again, it all just fits in the machine here on the side. You can't see it there, it all slots in. Finally, let's look at the front of the machine here. So you've got this entire display coming up here. Now this feels pretty intimidating. There's a lot of buttons going on here. Once you get into your workflow, it's pretty simple. It moves from left to right. You've got your grind settings here and your grinding, so that's easy. Then you've got your espresso drinks. You can just turn the knob and you can go from espresso to quad shot, cold press, and then you get across to your drip coffees, classic, rich, cold brew, all on that side. And then finally, you have your froth levels over here. So it's all pretty simple. You work from left to right. And the other thing you notice here is this machine is designed for beginners. It's got guidance for you, recommendations, kind of learns what your brewing techniques are, and then tells you how to improve it as you go along. Let's start by dialing in a new bag of coffee because I want to show you how this barista guidance works on the front. So I've got our Sundancer blend here, a little bit fruitier in that. Often needs to grind a bit finer than our signature. So I'm using this as a good example to see if it can tell how fine it needs to grind. So the holder has a scale in it. So you can see we put it in and it tears off. That little sign is the scale's tearing off how much weight is in there. And then you can see it's got a recommended grind size of 6. So that's where we'll start. And the machine's gonna help us dial it in. The first shot doesn't run right, it'll change its recommendation for us. Also, as you change your grind, that is the grinder doing little spurts of purging out the old grind and also making sure that the burrs are properly aligned as you change up. Cool, and then we press the grind button. We'll try it at 6. And it's a pretty quiet grinder compared to some of the other machines at this level. We're ready to go. See the grind all in the dosing funnel there. All we have to do is give it a little tap. Oh, that smells good. That Sundancer blend is fruity. Then the little tamp just fits in the dosing funnel and there's a pressurized little pop. tamps the right amount of pressure each time. Take off the dosing funnel. Money shot. Beautiful. All right, so let's pop it in. If I can do it back. I'm a genius, I did it backwards. We've got our little tray so we can put in our cup. And let's start, we're on espresso, double shot. Click the middle button to start brewing. Now, my theory is this coffee is harder to grind. It'll be quite coarse, so I think this will come out quite fast. Yeah, we got a gusher. That is coming out way too fast. So if the machine is right, it should change its grind adjustment to tell me to grind finer. There you go, it changed it down to 5. And it can do this 1 or 2 times to help you dial in the shot, and then it will know when you're getting the right yield from your coffee, and then it will stay at that recommended size. It's still pretty good. That was pretty fast, but it's still pretty good. Now let's see if I can outsmart the machine there. That looked a little faster than 1 grind adjustment to me. I'm actually gonna go to 4 because I'm a bad boy for life. And let's make a coffee again and see how that goes. All right, so back into the holder. Tears off, scales are going. Let's grind. Give it a little tap, beep, boop, beep. Again, tamp. If you're a beginner, that's pretty good. Like it kind of takes out trying to keep it level, trying to keep it flat. All right, let's try this bad boy. I did it again. I'm a reverse genius. All right, we're on espresso, double shot, beepity boop. Let's see if I'm smarter than the Ninja Luxe. The cameraman's shaking his head. You're not. So what I'm guessing happens is it weighs the coffee and the grind size, and then, I mean, that looks good. That looks a lot better. I would still say it's a little fast. Let's see if it adjusts. It's staying at 5. It knows more than me. But again, you can adjust it to however you want. If you want it running slower, you can still change the grind. It's just giving you a base level recommendation for what it's weighing out and what it thinks is the optimal dose of coffee. I mean, that's pretty good. For a more specialty coffee, there's lots of bright, fruity notes coming through there. There you go. It's a pretty decent espresso. Now, I will say that this guidance is great for beginners. If you're more of a coffee nerd wanting to do like your dose in, yield out, weigh it all, you still can do that. You can just take it out and adjust the grinds. But I think this machine is more tailored towards the beginner market who just want a machine that'll help them make a good cup of coffee. Now, we move on to the milk, the frothy jug. So this machine does automatic steaming for both dairy and alternative milk, so you can pick your settings that you want. And the way that it works is you've got this little base here. There's a smart little hole for purging, so water purges out into the bottom drip tray. You've got a thermometer on the bottom, and you pull out your wand, and then it just clicks in like that. And the idea is that the little frother on the bottom is going to add the air in, and then the steam wand is going to create a vortex that is going to break up the bubbles into a thinner microfoam. You got dairy, plant-based, so we're gonna go dairy because it's what we're using. Then you can choose your froth amount. You've got flat white, latte, cappuccino, and then there's also a cold foam feature as well. So we're gonna go just in the middle, try that out, feels like a good spot. Always good to purge before you steam. So we click froth, and then let's see how it goes. Okay, we can see a vortex is created. We can see at the bottom that the little frother is adding in suctions of air. The frother spins at the start, adds air, then that stops, and then it creates a vortex and tries to suck those bubbles down into the milk to create that velvety texture. I've got a little bit of bubbles in the middle, but the milk's actually looking pretty good on the outside. It's kind of sucking all those bubbles down. That's hot enough for me. So for the auto steam, it does feel like it has a set temperature, which is quite hot, but you can just turn it off when you want. So a little bit of user discretion. Auto purge there, see that? Look, this milk has a few little bubbles in it, but I mean, it looks all right. All right, let's see if we can get some latte art with this auto milk. Latte art might be a bit harder with it, but the texture of it's not terrible. It's definitely better than some of those other auto frother kind of machines. I wouldn't say it's as good as manually steaming it. So if you like auto, decent job. But if you can do manual, I'd say that's still the way to go with this machine. Now, one thing that I noticed with a few other reviews is they were saying that it was only auto steaming and there was no manual. And I was like, that's crazy. What do you mean there's no manual? There is a manual. You just got to know the inside information like this legend here. Pull it out. It is locked in this position. You don't get to move it around. So you have to adjust to steam there. So flip to the thinnest setting on the froth, flat white. So for the manual mode, you pull out your steam wand, place it in. You might need to lean your jug a bit forward for this steam wand because it's on quite a harsh angle out. And then you just need to hold this for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Boom. So there you go. We have the manual mode started. And just like normal, for the first kind of 4 to 6 seconds on a lower powered machine, you want to integrate air. Gonna let those air bubbles kind of come in at the top. And then after that first part of aeration, you kind of want to lower a little bit, create a vortex, and you want to pull down any bubbles left on the top into the milk. And that's going to create that velvety texture. Once you have a vortex going like this, you pretty much don't have to do anything. Just stand there. Enjoy your time. Meditate. Think about all the people in your life that you love. If there's anyone you need to text, call, just tell them you love them. Because that'll make their day. Tell your cameraman, Sam, I want to let you know that I really love you, man. You're doing a really... Oh, no! Come on, nod. What's this? There we go. Thank you. I love you so much. Too hot to touch. I give it like 3 seconds on a lower powered machine after it's too hot to touch. And generally, my milk's good to go then. Make sure to wipe that down. Let's see, does it auto purge? It does. Now this milk is looking silky. Now let's see if we can pour some bangin' latte art. You know we can. Oh, yeah. It's really good. Perfect for a flat white. Oh, this little marker here on the side, that means that the tray is full of water and needs to be emptied. So that's a nice little touch, and it definitely does. There's a lot of water in this. Now we get to the part that scares me a little bit. I don't know if this is for me, but it does it, so let's try it. This is the Quadshot. It's too much coffee. But sure, maybe someone wants it. I don't want it. So same as before, you grab that, put it on your little dosing funnel. So this is the Luxe basket. And I think the grinder knows when you put it in. Yeah, it's clicked over to Luxe, so it knows what you're using. And it's gone to one of the recommendations, cold press espresso. So now we're on Quadshot. We're gonna need to grind a lot coarser to get the water to pass through. So now it's recommending 13. So let's go to 13 and let's grind. It's too much coffee. It's still grinding. I've already had like 3 coffees as well. We're getting jacked, people, all in the name of science. Give it a little tap, beep, bop, beep. Get your tamp out, pressurized tamp, pop into the machine. Will this even fit a Quadshot? Might have some overflow here, people. Okay, Quadshot. So the water obviously has to pass through that entire bed of coffee, which filled in a giant basket. So there it is. You can see it takes a little bit of time. I mean, it's got a crema. Looking all right, but oh man, it's so much coffee. There is a market for this. It isn't me. I guess if you're having like a giant 16-ounce coffee, like with milk, this could be good. If you're doing an iced latte and it's really big, then maybe that's helpful. You don't have to do double. We're getting very close to the top here. Look at that, the Quadshot. So that is an entire cup of espresso right there. Perfect size. Did the recommendation change? No, I was happy with that. Let's try it. It's a little acidic, which is interesting. It was a little on the brighter side. Look, if you're just drinking this straight, I worry for you. If you're putting it in like a giant latte or iced latte, that makes sense. Efficiencies, you're not pulling 2 shots. I'm here for that. So in terms of espresso, pulls a decent shot. The guidance is great for beginners. The auto steaming is decent if you don't know how to steam milk. And then the manual steaming was really good if you want to do latte art and that kind of thing. Now for the second functionality in the machine, we're looking at drip coffee. So for this, we're using that giant basket again, the Luxe basket. It just slides in. We want to put our basket in again. It'll tear off. And then with the little dial on the front, we can go down from quad, cold pressed, and then we can go to classic or rich. So rich is just a higher percentage of coffee in it. So you can see we're gonna go on classic here, and then you can pick how many ounces you want your coffee to be. So it goes all the way up from 6 to 18 in 2-ounce increments. So we're gonna go what, 8? 8 feels like a good size. We're set on 25 for grind, and then it's gonna grind out the right amount of coffee. So it's going to weigh out the amount of coffee that you need for the amount of ounces that you're doing. So it did less because we're in 8. Now you don't need to tamp when you're doing the drip coffee. Just give it a little tap, make sure that it's kind of flat and even because you want that even extraction. And then we'll put in our portafilter. So we're set on classic. So I'm gonna do a timer on this just so that everyone can see how long it takes. So we press brew, start. Oh, so it's wet the bed first. So it's actually, I think it's blooming the coffee. So it's letting those gases escape. That's quite cool. Oh, there you go. So you can see this is a much slower extraction, closer to that of what you get from like a drip coffee or a pour over. It's a lot lighter in color. It's a much coarser grind size. So you're getting that more American style drip. Once it's full, it kind of lets it drip through, then it injects a bit more water again. So far we're sitting at about 1.5 minutes, which when you do a pour over for like this amount of coffee, how long does that take? Probably 3 minutes of extraction time. So probably similar to that time frame. We're hitting it with the cups today here, people. So that was 228. Now this is gonna be piping hot, I feel like. But you can see here, there's no crema on top. That's more classic drip style coffee that you'd get from like a big vat. By Jove, that's hot. If you like piping hot coffee, this makes some hot coffee. So I will say I lived in America for a bit and this just takes me back to that classic drip style kind of coffee. It's definitely more leaning in that like big drip coffee rather than like a nuanced pour over. So it's a lot stronger, more robust. There's lots of body. It's not like the lighter, more delicate notes that you might get from like a V60. But again, if you're in a household with different people who want different coffees, it's good to have it in one machine rather than having 20 pieces of machinery around your kitchen. And the final thing we're doing here is the cold brew feature. So again, we've got our big Luxe basket in there, pop it into the grinder. Then on the screen, we can just adjust down here till we reach cold brew. Now, grind size 23, recommended, machine's the boss, let's grind. Now, as I said before, this machine has thought of everything. I love that you can take out the stand here so you can fit in a bigger glass. It's just so wasteful pouring into one glass, having to distribute it into another glass. Very helpful. Again, we don't need a tamp here, just give it a little shake. And then our cold brew glass can just fit straight underneath. Let's start that. Oh, you know what I should do? Timer for this. So it's been running for about 20 seconds already. This brews at about 38 degrees, so, you know, above room temperature, but way colder than what you'd normally brew at, between 80 to 100 degrees for hot coffee. So with this style of brew, you're gonna get a lot less acidity. It's gonna pair really well with milk, with ice. So it's perfect for the summer kind of drinks that you wanna make. And then we just have to wait, because I think this will probably take like 3 to 5 minutes. But cold brew normally takes 12 hours, so I think they call this rapid cold brew. So I'll be interested to see what the taste is like and how much it compares to that longer extraction 12-hour cold brew. While that brews, we'll just catch up on some reading. Cinnamon latte with honey, delightful. You get a little book with the machine with lots of different drinks. It's a lot of drinks. Oh, there you go, how to brew espresso, vanilla cappuccino. Oh, so that's kind of cool. It has little diagrams in the book with how to make the drinks and that. Drip coffee, how to do it. I'll see if I did it right. And that's done. Oh, I had it set on 8 ounce, so it's made me an 8 ounce cold brew. But again, you can go all the way up to like 18 on this. That was about 3 minutes for the cold brew, for the rapid cold brew there. I'll give it a taste first, because why not? Oh, that's surprisingly good. No acidity, all sweetness, brown sugar. Cold brew is not really my thing, but I'm sure with a bit of ice and vanilla, we can make something pretty special. It wouldn't be cold brew without doing a little cold foam. So let's see how the little cold foam frother works on that. So let's purge. Sorry, cold foam, same as before for the manual. You pop it in with the steam wand. We're gonna switch ours all the way across here to the cold function. And then let's start. We're on dairy. So that's just spinning and using the little frother. Obviously the steam wand isn't gonna be used in this part of it to integrate heat. It's just gonna be the frothing device and it's gonna spin and texture that milk till it's nice and foamy. While that foams, we can look at getting our ice out of this tiny ice tray. I've got the little tiny cubes. The problem with these tiny cubes is it's so hard to get out of the packaging. We'll add our ice in. Okay, let's see this cold foam in action. Oh, that's what you want. Look at that. I love the little like it falling slowly through the black coffee. That's the magic. Oh, the Starbucks fans are gonna love this. I mean, I say it's not my thing, but that's pretty good. All the things we like as adults are just excuses to act like children, where you're like, I want my little foamy coffee. Come on, I could smash that down in summer. That's pretty good. Now, time for the review. And the big question on everyone's mind is, how did they make this machine for $500 US? I don't understand it, how it can do all those things for $500. So who do I think this machine is for? I definitely think this is for beginners, and I think it's for people who want a machine that can kind of do a little bit of everything in their kitchen. So for beginners, because of the guidance that it helps you dial in your coffee, and it's also got the auto steaming, but you can manually do it if you want. I would say if you're more of a coffee nerd that's gonna be weighing in your dose and your yield and trying a bunch of different crazy coffees, this machine might not be it for you. But if you're someone that just wants a good espresso to be able to make a flat white and then have the ability to make drip coffee, cold brew, cold foams, then I don't know how you go past this machine for $500. I think it's set a really really high benchmark for that price level. So that's the review of the Ninja Luxe. Let me know what you think of it. Have you tried it at home? Did I miss anything while I was going through it? Also, let us know what machines you want us to review next. This is Golden Brown Coffee. Like, subscribe, ding that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time. Coffee up. We'll have some videos over here.